Yet again, we have come across a very serious conundrum. And this is in relation to French trans player Julie Tétard's recent comment that if the NBA comes calling, she will she will be willing to go into the NBA. He or she, I should say she, I gotta respect the Christians. But Julie, yeah, I can call him Julie. You know, they have unisex names anyway, right? Now feels that he should be competing against biological women in a sports originally designated for biological women. I remember when Cheryl Swoops, who was one of the pioneering players, was coming out and was a part of the major rollout of the WNBA in the beginning, and when she come, I'm like, oh, that's a professional player and as a woman, you know. I remember as a boy looking into it and said, okay, that's a pretty unique character. She's a girl who can play basketball. Now, my main issue is that the labor economics of that now is introduced by the transgender athletes that will be introduced to the NBA. And believe me, with Donald Trump exiting in 2 years, a lot of the shenanigans is going to be catalyzed, just like when the whole border situation was created with Joe Biden. You see, the issue is there is obviously gonna be a transgender pay gap, because being men, they're gonna be better than the women naturally, and they are incapable of having children, so they're gonna have certain advantages even in terms of availability. Now, and believe me, they're always going to come to the conclusion that it's the heteropatriarchy's fault, even though they're the ones that are putting themselves into this whole quagmire. Now, can you imagine how much more a transgender player is going to make than the average biological female? I mean, they're going to dominate, not only dominate, but they'll also take the spotlight away from the biological female. You won't hear of Caitlin Clark after the first biological female, after the first transgender male enters the WNBA. I mean, the only time you'll see Caitlin Clark is when they're asking her about her opinion of the likes of Julie Tétard. So that's my concern. How much more do you think a transgender athlete is going to earn in comparison to a biological female athlete? And if so, if there's a probably, maybe they'll actually have to push their equality agenda and just do a socialist NBA where the exceptional trans athletes share some of the money they make with the rest of the biological females, since you girls like them anyway.